Hello, John Jesse from the Health Continuum. I'm excited to continue our series of Ask an Expert. And we have today Shay Potter with us. Welcome, Shay.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Let me give a little background. Shay works she's a Stretch Lab master flexologist. Have you ever met one of those? Not me. Exercise specialist, sports performance trainer, and ASM CPT and stretching and flexibility coach, works at the Stretch Lab in St. George. And we're so excited to have her today. As you read the book, The Health Continuum, you'll notice that I do address flexibility. And flexibility and mobility are kind of two things that are really critical. Flexibility is, well, do my limbs move in all directions? Can someone move them? And then mobility is having the muscular structure, tendons and such that can move them. So ultimately, it's that ability to move them, have that strength to move them. But if you have the muscles to move it, but you can't, your arm's not flexible enough, it's not going to do you much good. You're going to throw your grandkids up and you can do the strength. So you need both. You need that flexibility and then that mobility. And it is a key component as we grow older. And I'm going to confess, Shay, if you read the Health Continuum, I tell about lots of things. I never miss a workout. There's two things in there that I am the weakest on. And one is flossing my teeth. If my dentist hygienist is listening, know that I'm on a real good streak right now, though. 4 months, I think. I can't wait to go back to the dentist. And the other is stretching. I do a lot of weight resistant. And if you do weight resistance correctly, you can actually increase flexibility through your workout. You should be. A lot of people do it incorrectly and they end up decreasing flexibility, which means they're not improving their health when they're doing their weightlifting. They're lessening it. So we'll want you to address that. So why don't we start with this important topic? Shay, you're the expert. This is Ask an Expert series. So we're going to ask you, what's the importance and benefits of stretching? Tell us.
There are so many benefits of stretching. You kind of started hitting on the head when it comes to flexibility and mobility and how well your body moves and all ranges of motion. So if you want to be able to pick up your grandkids, you got to be able to have a certain range of motion within those joints, as well as being strong enough to maintain those positions, right? So you bring up strength training. Now, flexibility itself does a lot more than just being able to reach over and touch your toes. It's going to increase your cardiovascular health because the more flexible you are, the more flexible then your veins and your arteries are, which allows for better blood flow. If you have better blood flow, yeah.
Well,
let me
let's
just tell
stop.
you
Boy,
my
you
share.
just hit me right off, Okay, so if I'm able to move more, that means my veins and arteries are more flexible, which would speak to a higher efficiency in cardiovascular. Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yes. And nutrient delivery. It can help with lowering your blood sugar levels just because the overall efficiency of your blood glucose system, your movement of your lymphatic system to help push through that lymph, which is waste products within the body. So as you move through and you excrete all of those toxins that your body's created, you're going to feel better, be able to flush all of those out.
Whoa, hold it down. Blood sugar, everyone's working on blood sugar. And you're telling me that if I do my stretching, there's no silver bullet. There's no one thing that solves everything. It's a bunch of little things, but you're saying this is one of those little things that can help with that. Wow.
Yeah, it
I'm
most
going to go
definitely.
research that after this interview, Shay, because I'm not familiar. That is terrific. Ask an expert. There we go. Continue,
Yeah,
please.
please. Yeah, so in addition to your blood flow, your lymphatic system, being able to flush through all of those fluids, you're going to be able to maintain a better posture and alignment. We live in a society where we are constantly forward folded. We sit, we work at a table, chairs, whatever it is, playing on our phone. Right. So with that, we tend to carry a lot of tension and stress in our pecs. And then what happens is in the back, they become lengthened and weak. So we're now weak in the back and we're super tight in the front. So if we're not very flexible and we're not very strong, they're going to contradict one another and we're going to wind up with that forward hunch. So stretching and maintenance of that is going to help with your overall alignment and posture.
Gorilla hands, we call it. You see all
Yes.
these young men go to the gym and they all want to do the bench press. They don't do any back work and they end up being gorilla hands. So I've seen that. Wow. You've got me almost hooked here. Boy, I'm ready to start. Keep going.
Absolutely. And in addition to those, it also is going to help with your nervous system. So stretching, doing it right before bed is going to help to assist in better sleep, into deeper sleep, because it is going to calm down the system. Studies have shown that, just 5 minutes of stretching can help put your system from that fight or flight to a rest and digest form with your nervous system. So it's a really great way to reset your nervous system in just a couple of minutes.
Wow. 5 minutes before bed. Okay. Let's say I'm going to commit now. I'm still on. Okay. I'm going to commit 5 minutes as part of my nightly routine because I measure with my Aura ring, I measure all that. So I get a report on how my nervous system is in the morning. I like those numbers high. What would be, if I'm not stretching at all, talk me through a stretch or two that you'd say, okay, if this is all you're going to do, then maybe start here. Talk us through that.
Yeah. So I would definitely start with some sort of lumbar or back rotation. This is very important for all sorts of sport movements as well as just your everyday movement. You have to turn around in the car to be able to look behind you. Rotational movement, right? You're going to help decompress the spine, release the low back muscles, the glutes, the hips, as well as any of that upper back tension that you've created throughout the day. So lumbar rotation is a fantastic one. Another one is going to be
stop there. So talk us through. I mean, I don't know your camera. I don't know that we can actually have you do this stretch, but can you just talk us through a lumbar stretch?
Absolutely. So if you were to lay on your side, and then your top leg is going to be bent. So if you've ever been to a chiropractor and you see when they do the little twist and thrust and ends up popping your low back, you're basically in that position, but then you're going to open up like you're opening a book and you're going to lay there like you're all sprawled out. So that's going to not only stretch your chest, your low back, and your glutes and elongating the spine, but as you hold and you stretch and hold that position, your body's going to then sink into that rest and digest to calm you down to help you sleep better.
And this is a static stretch where we're going to just stretch it and hold it for
20, 30 seconds.
Oh, 20, 30 seconds. You're a hardcore. I was hoping maybe 5 or 10. And when I'm stretching it, I shouldn't be to a point where I'm feeling pain, right?
Correct. It shouldn't be painful. And I'd say that's one of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to stretching. And that's why a lot of people tend to not do it because they think it's supposed to be painful. And it's not. We go through and we think that more is better. And it's not the case. We want you to actually relax into a stretch when you're doing anything. And so you want to find a tension of, if a 1 is you don't feel any sort of muscle tension and a 10 is your pain point, I want you around like a 5, 6. It should just be
Okay, so I'm moving, and as I relax, I'll probably find I can move just a little bit more, not raise that number, right? Is that then do I flip over and do the other side?
Please. Otherwise, you're going to walk around lopsided. So
Okay.
definitely do both sides.
So if it takes 20 seconds, so I've got one stretch, I've still got like 4 minutes left. What's the next one?
So if you've done both sides, child's pose is another great one. Same thing because it's going to be elongating the spine. If you think yoga, you're bent forward on your knees, you're reaching your arms right in front of you, and then you're tucking your head. This one's going to help to alleviate tension in the upper back and your neck to help release all of those muscles. In addition to with the hips, depending on your mobility level, is going to help release a lot of tension that, especially women, we tend to carry a lot of tension in our hips.
A lot of tension in your hips. And on that, your gluteus maximus is going down to touch your calves. Is that right?
Yep. That is
But
correct.
if it doesn't, that's okay. Is that okay, right? I mean,
That's absolutely okay. The
and
more movement, the better.
and your head, when you say tuck, so my arms out in front, and I've done a lot of yoga, so I have done a lot of child poses, but you're tucking your head downward. Is that right? To get that neck stretch as part of it?
Yeah, so as you're tucking and you're letting your head fall through, what that does is it helps to relieve the upper back tension. So if I were to just hold it up like this, my head isn't going to fully release. And so all of these back and upper neck muscles are going to stay contracted. So as you let that head tuck or you let it drop in between your arms, you're going to release a lot of that upper back tension. And we talked about being so forward folded when you're in child's pose. We're lengthening everything.
Stretching it all out. Okay. 2 great stretches. I might not be through my 5 minutes yet. Is there one more you want to add to that?
Yes. So in addition to that one other great one, especially being tight up in the front, is a corner wall stretch is what I like to call it. So you're kind of in like a W. You can't really see my arms, but basically in this position in a corner wall. And you want to be elbows around 90 degrees. But if you change the position of your elbows, you can actually change where you're feeling that stretch. Nice and tall. We want to have good posture when we're doing this. Pushing forward and trying to get your chest to touch that corner wall. This one, opening heart center, opening up the blood vessels, breathing. Breathing's going to be huge just to help relax the body before sleep.
It feels so good. And I will say I did corner wall stretches for quite a while. My motivation was golf because not having that being tight does negatively affect your golf swing. So all you golfers listening, this corner wall stretch, describe it again once more, Shay, because they might not have been paying attention, but now they are.
Yeah, golfers, definitely. Corner wall stretch, arms are at about a W, placing your forearms against that corner wall. And as you push through a nice and tall posture, really try to feel that stretch throughout your pec and your upper chest muscles.
And I enjoy that stretch. I don't enjoy some of Well, I'll learn to enjoy them, Shay. But that one, it feels good, and I did it for a couple of years and really made an impact. That's terrific. That's 5 minutes worth. Okay,
Give or take. Yep.
so let's go through them. First one was
Lumbar rotation.
you're
So laying on your
on each
side,
side.
putting it on each
Okay.
side.
Second one,
Child's pose. It's
and
going to be a great one.
that's you're doing it. It's together, so you don't have to do it twice. And then the
Correct.
third one,
It's going to be that corner wall stretch.
and you're doing both at the same time. Terrific. Okay, we've got our 5 minutes. We're ready to start now. Help motivate us a little more. On the health continuum, you have these strands, and one of the strands is age, which you don't control, but it just balances and it's moving all the time, which just it's like gravity. You're fighting against it. And tell us about how aging really does. Aging affects everything, everything. But talk to us about how it affects flexibility and mobility and how stretching can help. We're not going to change age, but the way we eat, the way we move, we can help maximize our health during aging. And flexibility is certainly a key component. Talk to us about what aging does.
Man, aging can be a tough one. And obviously, it's inevitable. It's going to happen to all of us, right? As we grow, we do lose muscle mass. It's about 1% per year. So as you're losing muscle mass, now we're losing the ability of flexibility and mobility because we've lost muscle mass, right? So if we don't have the mass to be able to stretch, we have less to pull. If you think of a thick rubber band, the thicker the rubber band, we're going to have more ability to have like more area to be able to stretch, right? If we have really, really tiny ones, we're going to get to a point where we're done and we're losing that flexibility, right? So there's just not enough mass in order to go through and be able to move. So if you are not only losing your muscle mass, you are also having a decrease in your elasticity of the muscles. So we all talk about collagen and how important that is for your ligaments, your bones, skin, right? All of those things. As we have a decrease in collagen, now our muscles aren't going to be nearly as supple, as flexible, or as movable. So if that is the case, now we're tighter, we're carrying more tension, we're limited in mobility, movement. Golfing becomes harder, pickleball becomes harder, picking up your grandkids, that's another area, right? We're not able to get down as low, picking up things off the top shelf. And so as we lose our range of motion in a lot of those things, I would also then argue that our quality of living tends to go down, and we don't want that, right?
Absolutely, it does. That's the whole point of the health continuum is you want to be able to not just live a long time. You want to be able to live at the the highest level that you've been granted with your genetics and such, right? So yeah, it
Mhm.
does go down. Wow. So it really becomes an important thing to do. Sometimes people think, well, I'm 60 years old, I'm 70 years old, I'm 50 years old. I've never stretched. It's too late for me to really, they're all tight. It's too late. It's never too late, right, Shay?
No, it is never too late. It is never too late to start moving and start to increase blood flow, movement patterns, and be able to feel better and have that quality
You could,
movement.
you could start the 5 minutes. Now, a lot of people, it's grown a lot in the last 10, 20 years. I've been at this over 40 years. A lot of things have changed. And one thing's changed is in the gym and in workouts. A lot of people have personal trainers now. Instead of just doing our own routine or learning, they got people that actually they go meet with. And I have a lot of friends. I worked as a personal trainer for years, and it's something that's employed in health and fitness. But I bet a lot of people don't realize that you offer a very comparable kind of experience in stretching, because just like with lifting, sometimes it's that added benefit. So talk to us. PNF, which is, I'll let you tell us what it is, and then tell us about it a little bit, would you, and why someone might want to consider it.
Yeah. So I specialize in what's called PNF stretching. So it's proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation.
Yeah, that's what
Quite
it
the
is.
mouthful.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
one. So if we kind of break that down to help explain it, proprioception is the ability to tell where your body is at in time and space. Neuromuscular, neuro meaning your nervous system or neurons, and muscular meaning your muscles, right? And then facilitation is in order for us to help facilitate or to help change the stretching itself. So the way that works is we put you into a stretched position. So as I have you in that position, you feel mild discomfort. So around that 5-6 that we talked about, you're going to contract that muscle that we're stretching. So if I'm stretching your hamstring, for example, leg is up, you feel a tension behind the leg. I'm going to have you push into me. So you activate that hamstring. As you activate that hamstring, it's going to override what we call our stretch reflex. Now, the stretch reflex is basically your body's safety mechanism to prevent you from going too far into something so that you get hurt. So if you think you go to fall or you reach for something, your body has an area or a time where it goes, oh, I got to stop. I don't feel safe anymore. So when I have you contract against me, you tell your body and your brain that it's safe to move. You turn that stretch reflex off as you relax and breathe. breathing is important, I'm able to push you further into that stretch. Now, not only am I able to push you further, being the professional that I am, but you're also going to increase your strength and your overall motor control because I'm telling you to focus on a specific area to contract those muscles. So now that proprioception, the ability to tell where you're at in time and space, that has improved, which is huge for the aging population because balance is really taken into consideration. Balance, falling, if you know where your body's at and your micro control of your muscles, you're going to be off to a way better place than others that don't.
Sounds like having a trainer in a gym. You get a lot more out of your workout if you have a good trainer, and having someone like you help you stretch, and it sounds like quite a bit of upside for that. So thank you. That didn't exist 40 years ago that I was aware of. That's a new phenomenon, and I've checked it out. Went and participated when I wrote my chapter on stretching, and it was phenomenal, Shay. It was a really just enlightening kind of experience. I encourage people that are having trouble, that have resources, hey, check it out. Shay, we'll ask one last question as we wrap this up. It's been so delightful to visit with you. And we're asking all our Ask an Expert folks, no matter what their field is, if you could tell your clients one thing, I want you to start doing this tomorrow to improve your health, what would it be?
It would be to hydrate. So hydrate and movement. Hydrate as soon as you wake up in the morning, hydrate before you go to bed, because this plays a giant role into your overall nervous system, your body, your muscle movement, your fascia, which is the connective tissue throughout your body. Your body is 96, or your muscles are 76% water. If we do not have water and your fascia is 70% water and we don't have water, we are now not flowing through movement and having quality living and movement throughout. So we already got the water bottle there, so you're off to a great start. Hydrate and movement. Those are going to be some of the two cheap. They're easy to do, and the consistency over time is going to make you your 10-year, 20-year, 30-year self thanking you.
Great answer. Great suggestion. Shay, I'll ask our listeners, we just kind of got into this a bit. Some of you may have questions. And if we get enough questions, I'll reach out to Shay and see if she'll come back and do another little segment to answer those specific for you. So be sure to write those. You can do that several different ways. And I hope you do, because I'd love to talk with you again, Shay. As always, what I say to you folks is, let's think about this. What are you able and willing to do today to improve your health? One strand on the continuum could be movement, and it could be stretching. One strand, one change. That's all we ask today. Maybe you're going to say, I'm going to start stretching 5 minutes. You could start tonight because it's only, well, I don't know. Maybe it's the middle of the night right now when you're listening to this, but whatever time of day it is, maybe think about doing that. In the meantime, we want you to have a great and happy and healthy day. And Shay, thanks so much. John Jesse,
Thank you
the
so
Health
much.
Continuum.
Thank you.